So TJ Kirk, aka the Amazing Atheist, is going to give his reasoning why he doesn't like libertarianism. And I'm going to give my reason why I do like libertarianism. And you decide in the end who's right. All right, this should be fun. Let's start.
Today we will talk about libertarianism. When I joined YouTube many eons ago, I considered myself a right-wing libertarian. I believed that free market capitalism was indeed the best means of ensuring a prosperous society, and that those who failed to prosper within such a society were in some way defective. I also believed that any attempt to create fairness in society would result in a nightmarish dystopia where entrepreneurial genius was ignored or crushed.
There is a bit of that, yes.
And laborers were transformed into indolent layabouts who produce nothing.
There is some truth to that, but as a libertarian, that's not my fear, and that's not really my concern personally. Please do me a favor and pause and look at this meme. Read it over carefully, and when you're done, resume the video. Okay, thank you for doing that. Now, there's two ways to run a society. One is government, the other is businesses. Now, I prefer, personally, businesses over government. The reason why I choose businesses over big government is because businesses are completely 100% voluntary. A business isn't going to tell you how to live your life. Has Walmart ever came to your house or pulled you over and told you how to live? I doubt it. But a government, especially a large one, definitely will. At the end of the day, it's your life. You should live it however you want. So somebody else shouldn't be living your life for you. No. You should live it however you want, as long as you don't hurt another person. TJ, the reason why libertarianism appeals to me personally is for two reasons. One is because freedom and having the choice to choose is absolutely wonderful and, in my opinion, crucial in having a decent life. Being able to choose between this and that and that and that and this and that from various different companies, all trying to please you, and they're all competing with each other so the prices are nice and low, is so much better than a government forcing a choice on you. Just like this meme demonstrates, I'd rather have 55 choices than just to have the government choose vanilla or chocolate for me. Maybe I don't like vanilla. Maybe I don't like chocolate. Maybe I want something a little different. It's my life, not yours. Let me live it the way I would like to. But two, because I'm a pacifist. I don't like guns being forced on me, telling me how to live my life. I don't like telling other people how to live their life and forcing guns on them. You may say government doesn't force guns on you. Everything eventually ends up in court, and then afterwards, where does it end up? It ends up at your house, where police officers are forcing you to do said thing. And if you don't do said thing, they'll kidnap you. If you resist, they'll kill you. If you don't resist, they'll throw you in a cage like an animal. And that'll be that. See, it's all forced via a barrel of a gun. And I don't like that as a pacifist. Personally, I don't like that. Also, I believe that you should be able to do whatever you want as long as you're not harming another person. See, this person is being arrested in this specific example for smoking weed. I think that's a really stupid reason to arrest and throw someone's life away for. I'd personally rather things be done voluntarily. Governments shouldn't control every aspect of your life. You should control every aspect of your life. And you know who will let you control every aspect of your life? Businesses. That's why I prefer businesses over government to run society.
Many of the most hyperbolic arguments right-wingers make against any form of socialistic thought, is that they have their genesis in the writings of Ayn Rand, I read Ayn Rand at the age of 17, and she had given me exactly what I was looking for at the time, a means of philosophically justifying my own massive ego. In fact, it was a collection of her writings entitled The Virtue of Selfishness that initially captivated me. I was a socially alienated and awkward 17-year-old boy with a rich daddy who had just found a philosopher of not insignificant cultural impact. What did Ayn Rand say to me? She said to me that selfishness, greed, and a willingness to exploit others for profit were all great and wonderful virtues.
You may think, oh, well, the selfish business owner is calling the shots. No, you idiot. The customer is. The thing that makes capitalism so freaking appealing is the fact that even the greedy drive society forward. And that's because they have to do what the customer wants. If they don't do everything the customer wants, they'll bring their business elsewhere and their money elsewhere, and that company will start to dry up and die. So they have to do what the customer wants. So under capitalism, the businesses do not run society. I'm sorry, TJ, they don't. What runs society is the customer, because the customer provides the money and the source of income for these businesses. The customer picks and chooses what company lives and what company dies. So, therefore, it is the customer, it is the average citizen who has the power under capitalism. Not the businesses, but the customer, but the citizen. Under the society you propose, TJ, the government calls all the shots. The neighbor, your neighbor calls the shots because it's a democracy, right? So it's a majority rule. It's mob rule. You know that meme where there's 4 guys and 1 girl, and the 1 girl votes not to be raped, but the 4 guys vote to rape her, and they outnumber her, so they get to rape her. That is kind of what democracy is. They get to use force, right? As long as the mob defines it as okay, they could use force. That's what government does. But capitalism is different. Capitalism says it doesn't matter if you have 1 million votes. Your votes don't outweigh the rights of one individual. So you can't force things on people with violence, even if you got votes. Instead, everything must be voluntary. See, it goes back to capitalism being voluntary and government being force. Notice that Walmart doesn't force you to pay taxes. Walmart doesn't force you to not own guns, or it doesn't force you to not smoke weed. Walmart and McDonald's don't force you to do anything. If they used violence to force you to do things, they wouldn't be a business. They'd technically be a government. Everybody knows if McDonald's, for example, got a standing army and forced people to pay taxes, you have the right to defend yourself against them. But when a government does it, you don't. That's why businesses are better, because you have the right to defend yourself against them. You don't have the right to defend against government, which is bullshit. Precisely why government's dangerous. Now, TJ, you said that capitalism or libertarianism appealed to you because you were selfish back in the day. So, I believe you're still selfish. You just found out government is more selfish, so that appealed to you more.
She taught that people with wealth were superior, a superior breed of human being, worthy of worship. She taught that the poor and the working class were disgusting parasites whose only real use or function was to serve their betters. Ayn Rand was the glorification of everything base and cruel and loathsome in the human spirit. She was the unrestrained id of capitalism, loving only wealth and the wealthy, but despising most of humankind.
Now, I honestly think you misunderstood her works, but regardless, I do believe you that you latched on to libertarianism in your early days for the wrong reason. It's not the ideology's fault that you misunderstood it and latched onto it for the wrong reasons.
Despising compassion, despising empathy, generosity, charity, and any other feeling or institution that asked one person to care about another.
I'm sorry, but that is such BS. Okay, I care about people. It's one of the main reasons I love libertarianism. It's because I respect you enough to let you live your life the way you want to. As long as you don't hurt another person, you should be able to do what you want. I owe that to you. I don't think that's selfish. I think what you do is selfish. Trying to control other people and telling them how to live their life. That's pretty selfish. Taking their money and spending it how you want to spend it. That's pretty selfish. I also respect people enough not to force violence upon them. You don't. You think violence should be forced upon people for minuscule things like jaywalking. Like that's worth a ticket. That's worth court. That's worth guys coming to your house with guns. To you, that's worth it. I respect you too much to do that to you.
Although Ayn Rand herself hated the Libertarian Party, there's no ideological difference between their platform and the tenets of Rand's philosophy of objectivism. When it comes to this selfish line of thinking, whether it's called libertarianism or objectivism or laissez-faire capitalism or whatever label you want to slap on it, here's what I say about it. I understand fully why I, as a teenage boy with a superiority complex, looking for his place in the world, gravitated towards this ideology. But what I cannot understand for the life of me is how any grown adult of apparently sound mind, could embrace this cruel ethos as if it represents any sort of desirable path forward for our species.
Yes, because leaving people alone is so cruel.
To believe that some controlled form of capitalism can exist within a prosperous society is a proposition that I find to be intellectually defensible. But the notion that free market capitalism should be the driving force behind all of society and that everything should be commodified and privatized under such a structure is a heavyweight contender in my mind for the worst idea of all time. And none who espouse it should be taken remotely seriously in mainstream political discourse.
So, because I like voluntary transactions over forced ones, I'm evil? Because I respect you enough to give you freedoms and afford you choice in the free market to choose what you want in your life. That makes me a monster? That makes me unworthy of having an opinion? I think that's BS, dude.
I know that many libertarians are simply well-meaning people who want the government to leave them alone. I think that impulse has merit, but we have to think on how we do it, because if you think the United States of America sucks sometimes, just imagine living in the United States of Amazon with Jeff Bezos as emperor for life. Not many libertarians want that future.
So yes, the reason why Amazon has such a huge grab at the market and has such a monopoly is directly because of government, not because of the businesses. They didn't do it on their own, dude. The government gave them subsidies and didn't make them pay taxes. Well, everybody else had to pay taxes, so they got ahead. We both know for a fact, TJ, if there was less government, there would be a lot less monopolies. So no, Amazon and Jeff Bezos wouldn't be running things if we scaled back government.
The means by which they want to accomplish their goals, in my estimation, result in the further codification of the plutonomy.
That's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you liked my video, and let me know what you thought of this video in deep detail in the comment section. Leave a comment. I'd love to hear your opinion. And not just that, hit the like button if you want, and subscribe if you want. All right, thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next one if I decide to make a video. Bye.